Savik, good evening, how are you? Yes, we're here. I'm on the Keeper for a little Hodor. Yes, indeed. Are you doing the Hodor this evening, or...? Hot tea, not gargling. Enzleric, welcome to the stream. Not tonight, I'm quite close to 190, so I'd like to do that before tomorrow. Just thinking, what about the Star Quest? Can you get the Star Quest done? At whatever level you are now, or do you need to be a higher level? Oh yeah, what's the... You've got to be 190, haven't you, to put a hold hell at bay on, I think. I can't remember. Is it 190 minimum to equip? Yeah. Well, technically you can, but you just wouldn't want to. I mean, Scott got in here at what, level 6? I Kill You All did it at level 1. I mean, yes, you'd need like pretty much the entire raid force anchoring and healing you, but it can be done. Wait for the finished version of the callers. Eleminster, welcome to the stream. What was the last buff I cast? Oh, let's carry on from where I think I'm up to. Yeah, I was trying to sort of get good old Kalos 2 back on his feet. Going forward. Sort of did, but there's some weird things with him. Like, for some reason, he doesn't have his DB codes anymore, and I've checked every single bag he's got that I know to find somewhere. I can't find them. I can't imagine that I've deleted them, but maybe I did. It's weird. I've definitely done the quest. He's got the Advi star and everything. He's nearly finished Arid Rift, I think. So, yeah. Enzleric is here somewhere, killing things by the look of it. Musionist, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what the hell I've done with anything like that on him. And he does need a lot of work to get him up to speed. Hasn't finished the plausibility ring quest either. He's up to confront Victor Novak. So he's at the very last stage, but he's just not done it for some reason. We'll see. And I need to give him some other bits and pieces. Could help with my dock, yeah. Ensler tried to get the leg chopper ring for my agent, but dropped... Oh, the dock item, yeah. I mean, it is random. Are you spawning the leg chopper clones, though? Because there's a lot of them. You sort of do this whole going round all of Farmit Woods, killing the placeholders. They're all marked on the map. Yeah, there's about 8 or 9 leg chopper clones that you can spawn. Support Vim of Malaise. Is it just 5? I can't remember. It's like 6 of them, I think. It's a year since I've done the leg chopper clones. I do remember them. I remember the fun trying to spawn them. Killing the placeholders, waiting. Killing the placeholders, waiting. I think somebody's fixer forgot to put on their hold hell at bay. Yeah, keeper might work better. I don't know, we'll get a bit of a team together for him eventually. But, yes, starting next week, we're doing the next Let's Build a Toon. So, I suppose in the strictest sense, it's not really, because there's only 2 left to do, so it's going to be either or, and then before the end of the year, we'll have done the... he did forget his hold hell at bay. They will be the last sensible one, and maybe before Christmas we might even squeeze in one of the first silly ones. You know, what shouldn't work but somehow does. Yeah, I was messing around with settings before playing the old engine at 4K. Could not see a damn thing. You know, when you use DSR, so it's like scaling, but scaling upwards. It looked pretty. Frame rate was chronic. I think I got it up to 8K at one point, and I just couldn't see anything on the map. I couldn't read a damn thing on any component in an inventory slot or anything like that. It was just, nope. Not a chance. I'm in Team 2 for the moment. So yeah, it's a bit more sedate today. No big alien event. That's not until next week, and it's 50-50 if we're getting it next week. I've been told. It's not 100% certain. It never actually is. But next week is... we're just going to have to wait and see. Yeah, I've got this axe belongs to Jack. A couple of those. I think there's 2 variants of that particular axe as well, for whatever reason. God knows where that looted from. Juicy NCU. Yep, 1746 NCU. So we got a little while before we get started with this. Oh, Mihalik is on the raid. He's not in the stream, but he is on the raid, so... Don't know if he's on here. That was the fix that died, bless him. I saw just saw the health disappearing and then drop dead, and I was like, bet he forgot his hold hell at bay, and he did. I was like, oh no. So yes, all good. I enjoyed that raid last night with the aliens and stuff. I'm being chased across Elysium by Seekers and then dying to Seekers this morning. Savik posted a screenshot. Look, there's some Seekers next to the bridge. So I went and got fatty balls thinking, yeah, I'll just sacrifice pets at them. No. They still came after me. And I just couldn't get out of the way in time. It was like, ugh, splat. And then suddenly there was a soldier there, AMS, just ran into them and started shooting. I just healed Alessandra with the keeper. I want a mod to make the mouse cursor a little more visible, you know. Sometimes it's sort of down like that and your eyes can't catch it because there's just so much else going on screen. I think the default mouse cursor is actually easier to see. Well, I jumped down, I did, Sav. You know that little sliver of ground you've got around the very edge under the bridge? I jumped down to there because I couldn't aggro them from where I was. Yeah, I think you're line of sighted on those until you go down to that little hair of. I mean, you can run round it, but if you get on it, you're not getting off. You've got to drop off and zone, and so on and so forth. Alexander's just bouncing around like he just don't care. He's on his soldier. What's he got on there today? It looks like a PDKP and Envy of the Zan at the moment. Nice. I'm one of them. Did he put on the... He did, yeah, for the even more full auto chest piece. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm surprised he uses those though. But it's his build. He knows exactly what he's doing. I think it's more or less a crit build. Doing a petition to get stacking of all stuff available in HUD 123 and Utility 123 next patch. Yeah, that'd be nice. But no, you have to play HUD Tetris to get the best out of it that you can. Mihalik, welcome to the stream. I'm looking at you in game. Your very spiky shoulders. Hangover tanking. That sounds interesting. What's hangover tanking when it's at home? Yes, we're power leveling Savik's new tune, almost level 190 fixer. If I were an Engi, you'd be so proud of me. I'm doing this Sheol quest. Yay! You know we'll come running if you get stuck on that very last tree boss. I think you'd be alright on that fixer though. I don't think you can have a problem. Did manage to solo Unredeemed Roach. I think he's harder, but not sure. The only thing that's tough about the tree mob is he gives himself CH, if you remember. So you get him all the way down and then the bugger completely heals and you got to kill him all over again. Enzleric redeemed hydrate before it gets cold. Oh, yeah. There you go. The extended opening times to 1 a.m. here, so we were out until 1 a.m. last night. Went to a club that was doing €3 margaritas as an event. Oh, God, that's the €3 margaritas. I would be very, very drunk. Margaritas are lovely. They're like, for Americans, they're like tasty candy. They're real nice. But man alive, you can get drunk on them. Vulpu, welcome to the stream. It's beautiful, Vulpu. I think we're doing one raid instance, which will mean this will be nice and fast. Not sure what it means for Sector 42 later. We'll have to see what's happening with that. Right, let's have a look at the caller list. It should be about done, I think. There we go. Yes, I am doing easy peasy, lemon squeezy, playing the keeper. Because I'm tired. I mean, I wasn't out till God knows when, drinking margaritas, but... I'm still tired. I'm old, leave me alone. Yeah, it's funny, you know how we were checking out Kalos 2 last night, and his old morph other player nanos have all disappeared since the patch. Apparently there's a couple of advies contact me too, in fact, and both of them said I've still got the basic ones, so Playful Cub, other things like that, and they can still buff them, and yet on my adventurer they're gone. I have no idea why, unless they are available some other way. I really don't know. Yeah, well, I've got them on my hotbars on Kalos 2, but they're not in his programs window. If I go there, I've got loads of gaps where they used to be, etc. So it's kind of freaky, really, because it was removed. So how some people have slipped through the gap, I don't know. At this point, they might as well lift all opening hour restrictions here, to be honest. Yeah, they're worried about the Delta variant in the UK. It's now the dominant variant, which was going to happen because it's more contagious. But I'll be happier when I've had the second jab. That's what I'm thinking. Second jab, I'll feel a bit happier about it. Amusionist cannot stay connected again. I'm real tired of this. Is this your ISP? Do you want to tell us who the ISP is and warn the entire stream to never ever use them? We're all pretty convinced that the local group of us here have all been exposed and have all been fairly poorly, but not, you know, deathly poorly, but just felt really bad and yada yada. And then, you know, and subsequently have some base immunity anyway. We don't know, though. No offence intended to the UK. Well, the problem that we had no cases of the the Delta variant, they're calling it now, which I think is better. But what the UK's done, which is silly, is they didn't close the airport. So they were like keeping everyone that's in the UK in lockdown, but then letting absolutely anybody come from any country to the UK. It's like a million people a day flying in. It's just like, well, that's shutting the gate after the horse has bolted. You know, it's just silly. CenturyLink. Right, everyone. Never ever give the ISP CenturyLink your business, because they've crapped all over Amusionist. Sky Cannon, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, Heather? Gamel11111, welcome to the stream. And we're off. Dead doggy. Yeah, you can fly to South America if you want, but you can't go 45 minutes to... Yeah. This is what happened here, so it just ended up being silly. Still recovering from Mum's anniversary shenanigans. Michalik was out doing margaritas last night. Oi oi! Someone feeling poorly? Yeah, it's nice margarita. I've only had it a couple of times. I wouldn't make a habit of it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Tastes really nice though. I went to it was a salsa club that I actually went to. That's where I had it. So we were drinking really well made margaritas, and damn, they were nice. €3 for a margarita. It's like £2 for a shot. That's cheap. He's not feeling his absolute best today, I'm thinking. Plenty of water. With the full, yeah, that's it. You know, you got to have the full cocktail, man. That's what makes them nice. They are kind of sweet, but I can't even remember what margaritas are made with. But yeah, we're stiff as well. Yeah. Lemonade, salt, tequila, and ice. Yeah. You just add a bit of extra. Ask for the salt shaker at the bar. Oh no, are they still only serving drinks to tables though? I think clubs are doing these events now just to get people back in. They don't need to try in the UK. Like where Mrs. Callos 2 is, my God, it's absolutely rammed. It'd be raining sideways outside, and they're packed inside, so the only tables they've got are the outside ones, and people are like, that's fine. And they sit there with weatherproof coats and all the gear on, like, no, we're fine, we'll sit here drinking. Oh yeah, makes you proud to be Welsh. Yeah, I think it's gone to 6 people here. I don't know. There's no kind of consensus on how to do things and everything else. It's silliness, really. And then it's like, yeah, you can't leave the house or your local town, but you know, you can fly to another country and or they can fly here. It's just, oh dear. That's, you know, just follow the bloody site. Listen to the scientists. Every disaster movie starts with the same premise. People in charge not listening to the scientist. So clearly the only way to fix the problem is start listening to the scientists. Table of 6 for shenanigans. Crash Core 105. Hello there. Hello there, Crash Core. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Cross-dimensional gyro of Gemini. God, they love these names. They're pretty good, those. Even now, still pretty nice. When it was a thing in the day, where pre-AI and all the rest of it, some of these items were like super well sought after. They really were. I made a new vodka drink and it was nice. What did you make? Did you have drinks at the house after as well? Or before? Right. The vodka fizzy vimp. I think that may have been done before, but yeah, it sounds nice. I was surprised how nice vodka and Red Bull is. It's a bit sickly, because I gave up sugar. I don't have sugar in it, tea or anything anymore. So what you do notice with that though is things like milk actually tastes sweet. You don't really notice that if you take sugar in tea and coffee. So it's kind of odd. But once you give up sugar, you do notice these things. Yeah, lactose is the sugar in milk. Yeah, it is. It is. Just a glass of milk tastes very sweet to me now. When did I give up sugar? About 5 years ago. Stopped taking sugar. Maybe a bit less. Maybe 4 years. But yeah, glad I did. Probably saved a couple of teeth doing that. Given how much tea I drink in a day. It's a lot of sugar. Caffeine, zoomies, yeah. Red Bull is basically liquid cotton candy. Red Bull and vodka is liquid cotton candy with alcohol. Yep. Are you keto, sis? No, I should do. I should do something like that. Go for high fat, low carb diet. But no, I like carbs as well. I like pasta. I love bread. Like good farmhouse bread. Stuff you can spread cold butter on, you know, with nuts and, yeah. All the good stuff in it. And I drink too much beer, which is all the sugar you don't need as well. Wine's another one. Wine's got a surprising amount of sugar in it as well. Death wish coffee. No, I don't even drink coffee. I don't like it. I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. But I do like tea, and I drink a hell of a lot. I drink a silly amount of it. There was a time I drank Red Bull at work when I was in retail management because it was just so manic. And the hours were just so stupid and there was so much to do. It was very hands-on business I was in. So 16, 17, 18-hour days were quite common. And you just needed something to keep going. You don't like coffee. You're dead to me. I've never liked it. Pasta is sugar as well, is it? Okay. I've never... The first time I tried coffee, my honest reaction was, like, is it supposed to taste like this? Yeah, I mean, I can chain drink tea all day. When I was in my late teens, I had a market stall, and the thing on the markets was, cup of tea. Cup of tea. Do you want a cup? I'm getting a cup of tea. Do you want a cup of tea? So you'd end up going, oh yeah, go on, have a cup of, yeah. Because you didn't know when your next one was coming. And it just ended up, you know, one person after another would go and get a cuppa. And you ended up drinking like 20 cups of tea in a single day. Yeah, tea does have that, but it also has flavonoids which get rid of the caffeine. So you sort of reach an equilibrium. Mrs. Carlos too drinks coffee, and basically I don't bother talking to her until she's had one in the morning. She gets up, I just make her coffee and hand it to her and just leave her to drink it. Then once the cup's empty, I make her a second one and then I speak to her. Yeah, also she can have a cup of coffee and go straight to bed. So yeah. But I do that with tea. Like before bed I'll go, oh, I'll just have, you know, a snack and a cup of tea, and then I'll just shut my eyes and boom, gone, out like a light. She does as well, I can always tell, because there's like a subtle change in her breathing, and I can tell when she's asleep. So she'll lie in bed and like within 2.5 minutes she's fast asleep. But yeah, you know, there's a reason we're still together after like 23 years or something. I just accept the way that you are. Don't get hung up on it. You were mean to me this morning. I hadn't had my coffee. Shut up. You know, you got to be a bit more robust for things to last like that. Like, I'm not going to talk to you till you've had your coffee. Why not? Because you're a total cow until you've had your first coffee, all right? Then I come back 10 minutes later, feel better? Yep. And she knows the things that irritate me as well. If I'm trying to make something mechanical work and it's not going well, she's like, I'll just offer you cups of tea. Not advice, not suggest any other way of doing it, just, do you want another cuppa then? It's kind of, that's just, you just understand each other's stuff, you know? You're okay with it and you just deal with it. Yeah, you see, with tea, I'll have 2 before I want to do a damn thing in the morning. Although I can get up and go straight to work without one. But I need one within a couple of hours of waking up or I get real cranky. But then I'll have, I don't know, I get through about 200 tea bags in a month, no problem. PG tips for Yorkshire. I have PG tips, yeah, it's my favourite. Quite like a few others, I'm not, you know. Not adverse to any brand really. But when I'm buying it, I usually, I get PG tips. But Tetley's nice, Yorkshire tea is nice. Pande is okay. Tetley's pretty nice. But PG's just got like a bit more of a zestiness to it. A bit more Earl Grey kind of flavour. Which I do like as well. I do like an Earl Grey. I think that's the most kind of wake you up type cup of tea. Is an Earl Grey. And that I can drink black. Don't need milk with it. Earl Grey, hot. Now number 1. Well, I think my thing with teas started out. Russian tea is really good if you can get your hands on it, yeah. I can well believe it. Yeah, I really wanted to be like Jacques Cousteau when I was a kid. You know, exploring the underwater wilderness that is our ocean. And they were doing like a collector thing in the tea bags for Brook Bond. And this is before the PG tip, because Brook Bond is PG tips, or PG tips is Brook Bond basically, same company kind of thing. And they had in every box of 40 or so, when all tea bags were square, there was like a book to fill out with stickers or cards that you glued in with like one of those glue sticks. And basically they were like, you got one card or more in each box, so whenever there was like a new box of tea, I'd always insist on having a cup of tea as well, just so we could open the new box to see if I got a new sticker in it. I think that's maybe where my tea drinking started, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying Russian tea. I may even have tried it. I don't know. There it is. Eventually, I clicked the energy vortex. Huzzah! Jump and procs. Yes, indeed. We must do the procs. There we go, procs is did. I guess that's what the box on the picnic table looked like. Okay. Volk here. Hello, Callus2 and chat. Welcome to the stream. Nice of you to join us. It is Hodor Sunday. So, Hodor. Doing the Hodor. Well, I'm doing perfectly well. Hopefully everyone else is as well. How's ads? I'm in my happy place, whiskey in hand and all grass cut. someone's having a well-earned malt. And Geronimo, and run back. Except don't really need to. Yes, I've got a pack of 4 beers I think I'll have afterward. Somewhere at the back of the fridge, so they'll be nice and chilled. I'll have those after dinner. I watched a new thing on Amazon called Solo. It's like quite well-known actors, one at a time, doing a solo piece, and all of them, the ones I've seen so far, have been really, really good. Sometimes they're playing against themselves. Dinner tonight, I have no idea. I haven't cooked anything. And Mrs. Callos too is off today, so she may cook something. Or she may, when I finish the stream, say, "Do you want a McDonald's?" and send me to the drive-thru. I don't know. Could go either way. Here I am running through a mountain because the geometry's never been fixed. So no idea. Last night we had I made a bolognese, which was real nice actually. I always like, you know, you get like a jar with bolognese in it, but I add a bunch of stuff to the meat as well. Onions, cloves of garlic, stuff. I haven't had any real McDonald's or any real fast food in 3 years. Now I'm craving it. I blame the hangover and you. You can do if you wish. I remember when these mobs just down here were real scary. Now they're like, meh. Well, when you've got this many buffs running on top of all your own, plus all the gear you've got, they shouldn't be too scary, I guess. Okay, I'm pretty sure they are not in our raid. That's Anthria, who I know, kind of, a bit. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of fast food. I mean, once, twice a month, we get some fast food. Well, she's on a dock, so it's going to be a while killing the Zodiac. But she almost certainly will kill it. Alright, 2 seconds while I refresh my cup with some water. And I am back. Savic redeemed hydrate for 100. There we go. I'm going to up the price of that. You guys have all got like 50 bazillion channel points. Yeah, I enjoyed that raid last night. Going to tier instead of like some of the other places we usually go was pretty inspired, I thought. It was good because if you think about it, Old Athen, before there's even a raid in Old Athen, there's a lot of people there. You know what I mean? Same with Borealis, there's always a lot of people in there. And Silverstone was there as well. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So going to tier where there wasn't like a ton of people in the zone already meant we were pretty good. And there's like about, I think there's about 300 people turn up for that raid, you know. And I'm not exaggerating there. I think there's literally 300 people in the playfield at any time once that raid starts. So when you've already got 50 gazillion people, you know, and then 300 more storm in, yeah, it made a lot of sense, so. And I redeemed a fatty. Yay! Will it tell you the timer on it? 4 minutes. I don't think it was Mihalik. That was, unless there's another team ahead of that player. That was, yeah, it was Anthenia. Or Anthria. Was here and started solo. I got here. I think I was one of the first to jump down here. And you can see on the VOD later, I'm just stood here waiting for everyone else to get here. And she pulled these two mobs over. One aggroed me, so I thought, well, I'll just kill it then. Why not? You know. Kill all the things type of deal, you know. And then she went on and soloed the Zodiac. Now, whether there's a team that she's trying to get to there or something else, I don't know. I mean, before now, we've gone through the entire real Pande, got all the way to the Beast, and there's no Beast there. Can happen in real Pande. Is there a team? Have you gone and looked, have you, Mahalik? We tried killing Silverstone twice to date. He's an immortal mob. Oh, right. Alliance Relay. Okay. Not paying attention and watching Euro football. All right. Not a fan. Gamble, come on, anyone but England. Oh, you're all mean. I mean, I can get a bit like that with the rugby, but football, not so much. The rugby's a bit like that, though, we've got to say. If I was coming to Pande on a single, in a single team, I'd definitely go like iPande. You know, just simple common sense sort of a deal, really, you know. Just get on with it in peace and all the rest of it. Not like the old days of Pande. Oh my god, the arguments over that. Maybe for leveling tombs. Yeah, it could be. Then you're better off just killing mobs, really. I do remember getting a lot of XP in Pande in the old days, pre actually having raid as a function within the game. I can remember that. I remember raiding Pande at about when most people were about 210, 212 on the high end. Just gamble, you can go off people, you know. I think they were just joking. I never really bothered with the football. My 9 absolutely loved it. She always had football on in the house, usually on the radio as well. She did the football pools. Do you remember the pools before the lotto, when you actually had to fill out loads and loads of sheets of paper and put it all in an envelope, and it wasn't winning the lotto, the dream was winning the pools. I think the biggest win they ever had was like 3 million or something. Kind of nuts. Aquarius's multitask calculator, there you go. Nano resist, critical increase for 2. Handy dandy item. Nan and Grandad won a fair bit on the pools. Yeah, I don't think my 9 ever did. Not really. Not that I remember anyway. I'm thinking of moving my mixing desk to nearer to me than it is. And still do the pools online. Yeah, I used to be at the newsagents. I remember because my folks had a newsagents, and I worked at it in the summer, and we had to learn how to take the pools from people and envelope it correctly and send everything off, and oh my God, it took ages. Excuse me. It was really, really time and sort of manually labour sort of thing. Manual filing and whatnot. It used to be a right pain in the bum. They used to have one that came round. Yeah, they did it all different ways. They would do newsagents, or you'd have someone turning up at the door at the beginning of the week and collect it at the end of the week or whatever, you know. And it was basically just very, very big scale gambling early on, guessing the outcome of football matches, which, you know, is what it is. Unigate milk and Corona soft drinks. We didn't have Unigate in this part of the world, it being Wales and everything, but we did have local dairies and such, and newsagents, you got 10p back on your empty bottle of Corona. And there used to be a guy that go up and down the street on a horse-drawn carriage, believe it or not, guys, this is Wales, remember, collecting the Corona bottles. People would run out like he was the ice cream truck, you know, but and he'd, you know, give you 10p for each one you gave. It's really cool, really. Imagine betting on Iceland eliminated England in 2016, like betting, yeah, well, this is it. It is, you know, unpredictable. can throw up surprises. People think, oh, I've got inside information and I know about the, and it's like, yeah, I know, I've seen all these guys. There was a bookkeeper's next door to my parents' newsagent, so I was kind of like, well, what I noticed was the customers at the bookkeepers were always poor, never had enough money, and the bookkeeper had a really nice car and a big house. That's what I remembered, and I just never got into the whole gambling thing. I think I figured out at a very young age that, well, you know, there's only one winner here, really. You know, you'd have these guys and they'd make a big song and dance about a big win, but you never, but you know, that'd be that one big win in the entire year, and the rest of the year they've been losing, so ain't a thing, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but on aggregate, you're not actually ahead at all. But you know, people do find it entertaining to gamble, so yeah, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. My nan used to live across the road from the Corona bottling plant. Yeah, I remember that. We had a milkman right up until about 2010, and he retired. No one took over, so. But yeah, he used to have fresh milk delivered every morning, and you'd put your washed milk bottles out at night. And I can remember the sparrows and whatnot, little, you know, the small little birds would peck at the top of the milk bottles and take the cream, and you'd still drink that milk. Believe it or not, you just went, yeah, well, he's only drank the top bit. Yeah, gold top. That was goat's milk, wasn't it? Gold top. Yeah, we always had silver top. Because even low-fat milk has exactly the same amount of lactose in it, if not more. I mean, I've tried skimmed milk, and I make my tea more creamy than skimmed milk is to begin with. So I don't like it. Like, ugh. Rather just not even have it, you know? Bad as that probably sounds. The thing is, all milk is low fat. It's only like 5, even full fat milk is only 5% fat, which is low fat for meat and everything else. So, I don't know. And the daft thing is, fat doesn't actually make you fat. Sugar and carbs make you fat, or an excess of them. You talk to bodybuilders that are bulking up and then cutting down, they'll tell you all about it. And the guy next door to me is bloody enormous. I mean, he is an absolute unit of a guy. He's not as ripped as he used to be, but he still knows all about it. He's about a tiny bit shorter than me, but probably weighs twice as much. Massive legs, massive back, you know, he's just, all of him is just huge. He's strong. He was the guy I was telling you about when they closed down all the gyms, or you know, for the lockdown and everything. He got some steel fabricated so he could put it underneath the spare car that wasn't in use and use that to do deadlifts. So he was just literally lifting the car on the end of 2 bars. I could hear him doing it and hear it going boom, clang every time. He said, "Do you want to go?" I got it about an inch off the ground and went, "That's me done, otherwise I'm going to pull something real bad." It was heavy. He used to add extra weight as well. Like the first inch, you probably only pull in maybe 120 kilo. By the time you've got it up to your knees, you know, you're pulling the full weight then. Because you were levering it up, basically. Skimmed milk is milk-flavoured water. Yeah, pretty much. It's horrible. Semi's okay-ish, but I'd rather just have real milk. You know, just it is what it is. I drink either blue or green or gold if I can get it. Sounds good to me. Geronimo. Jump and procs. Deja vu or what? Doing all this again. It's all cool. There we go. I guess we didn't get grand theft on him this time. Trader awake. Arf. Now we pull back the camera. Pinks are down, I'm not seeing any other dots. Okay, crack on. Noah! It was on immediately, it takes 10 seconds to fully drain. Ah, well there you go. People getting a bit narky. I couldn't see, there was so much in the NCU, it's difficult to spot it. Maybe we just got his health down too quick, because it is quite a big raid force. because it's a singular one. And welcome to the stream, Noah. Good to see you. And beast raid done. Zoom back in a bit now. How much HP the beast has got? Little over 8 million. You hit him with a 80 million rather. If you hit the beast with Spirit Siphon, hits for exactly 1% of total HP, and it's 800,000 or something. Yeah, we had. Is it 8 million? Yeah, it's 8 or 80. I can't remember. I haven't done the math properly. Yeah, Samik took a picture. There was still a couple of Seekers just there, but there was also 3 more down here. It's 80k on Beast, yeah. I used to have it as a login on my Shade. You hit the Beast for 80k. And, oh, no, fine. Some people would go, how the hell did you hit him for that hard? And I just go, Shades. Because the message you get back is, you hit the Beast for, it's like 80 and change K damage. And 2 sides of Sector 42 today. Nice. There we go. How goes the XPing, Sav? Because we've got about an hour, haven't we? Thereabouts. Have you finished off your Sheol quests? Just dinged 187. Woohoo! Garrett can go to 36k but doesn't compare to Siphon. Yeah, on a single hit, yeah. There's always a bit of a competition in a raid which Shade manages to land the, the Siphon. Because once one's landed it, none of the others can. It's annoying. Yeah, exactly. And you can only do it once they're down to sort of 10% anyway, so, you know. Don't matter. Don't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? It's turned like Mahalik has turned into The Rock in his wrestling days. It don't matter. Yeah, you probably did. You usually do. Some of your DD tunes are nuts. It's his PDKP MV Soldier with a lot of really nice bits and pieces on it. I mean, seriously nice bits and pieces on it. Eumenides' chest and yada yada. What's your full auto recharge down to now then? It must be pretty bloody low. Did you get it down to the cap or? You got it on the cap, nice. I think I got about 15 on my fixer, which isn't bad for a fixer. Yeah, most DD comes from crits and perks, yeah. You'll make me go to go. Fight, 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 fight. Probably is my DD shade usually dies at 12 man, yeah. Keeper's going, I'm Alice, I'm Alice, I'm Alice, I'm Alice. What the hell? Why is this shade doing this? Raid is running Sector 43. Okay. Profs I can't beat or DD set up Engies and yeah. We're doing Sector 43 tonight, guys. Woohoo! That should be interesting. Mechanical is like this. They don't keep FA for Green Tower. Green Tower ticks. Emph debuffed. Emph dead. Shade gets ag. Doc not prepared. Yep, that's the one. Keep your specials for the towers. Every time though, innit? It's like every time. Just keep burst for the towers even would be good enough. Just get them down fast. Or they pull the bloody Zan right over to the corner and then half of the towers are inside the wall and you can't get rid of them. Because that's always fun as well. I've been in some raids like that and gone, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get him to the middle, get him to the middle. Yeah, Soldier Shade and NT, more or less. If you don't, like with the Shade, if you slip up on one of your perk lines and miss the window of opportunity to hit the second one or whatever, you really goose your damage for a good while. Like at least 30 seconds before you can roll it round again, which is nowhere near optimal. Because you are doing way less damage for those 30 seconds. And also, if it was totemic right, probably dying. Where are you up to on your Sheol quests, Sav? Zinzig, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. This is Zinzig, the man of the t-shirts. Yes, he is. He gave me this rather good-looking t-shirt here. And one of these is him. But I don't know which one. You know? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's better. He looks better in his than I do in mine. There you go. No, you can't buy them because neither of us have got permission from Funcom. I did the whole Yuttos. You can't do the Yuttos quest until the scientist quest is finished, Savik. You're lying to me. You've got to do the scientists. You've got to complete that before the last Yutto lets you go and kill the tree. I'm sure. That happened to me once as well. I was on a video as well. I got all the way to the end of the Yutto's quest and the last Yutto, Vanguard 4 or whatever he's called, just said, you need to help out the scientists some more. Oh, just reminding myself, give the soul key to the one who talks with the past. I'll go do that while we're waiting. Yeah, I had never finished the Anarchy quest. Never actually finished it with a... maybe I'd already hit max research or something before I managed to finish it. I don't know. How long did you guys keep going for after I left? Well, yesterday. Probably an hour, you know. I'm not sure. I just kept following all the scary aliens around. Or more accurately, the scary aliens kept following me around. Which was bonkers. Well, you left when they went to the miners, Sav. They were at the miners for another 30 minutes. Even I was like, I was too tired at that point. I was like, I'm done. You know, I needed to end the stream. I needed to, you know, go, need a break. Oh, that stream, the Anzi quest. Yeah, we finished that, yeah. But I couldn't figure out why an item had spawned in my inventory. Wherever I put it. Please say I still have it, or I feel very, very silly. Ah, there you go. Cough, cough, Zinzig. Yeah, I mean, be careful with that. Be careful. As soon as money gets involved, then you're leaving yourself wide open to, well, criminal prosecution, actually. So be very, very careful with that. Because believe it or not, it is it's something you can... I mean... I know in certain countries it's hard to prosecute. I don't know. Like if you go to China, apparently, you know, like Hong Kong or something, the amount of goods you can buy that are copies, let's say, it's staggering. It's as though the word copyright does not translate into Mandarin. Right, who do I talk to here? The one who talks with the past. Right, give him the thing, and then there's nowhere for the XP to go, but hey. You receive SK and items. I can't receive SK. I got an item as a mission reward, did I? Did I get? Pretty sure I didn't. It clears the mission, yeah. That was slightly bugging me. I need to kill something else. It's giving me SK, but there's like literally nowhere to put it. I haven't got those parts. Enzleric, off to eat. See you a bit later. See you later, Enzleric. I don't think I've got those parts on me anymore. Repair. Weaver skin, brimstone heart. Oh, yeah. We were doing all this last night. I could easily have done all that. I really could. Clears the mission, it bugs you. You pick up a follow-up. I know I've got an hour to kill before Sector 42. So, you know. It's not going to be difficult to do it. What bugged me was I hadn't finished the quest line. So, Brimstone Heart and what? I've still got that. Kill Zark. Kill Razor. Never got round to doing those either. No, Sector 42 is at 7. So that's literally 1 hour from now. Because it's 7 o'clock or 1900 hours UTC. My in-game clock is on UK time, which is an hour ahead. The Inferno tours tomorrow? Absolutely, Sav. We'll get those done with you. Scalding Weaver skin, that's easy. And Brimstone Heart. In fact, some of them are grey mobs at this level. So they're not difficult. I just don't know if I've picked them up previously and I've got them in a bag in my bank or something. Which could be a bit of a problem. Yeah, you'll have to farm all the parts ahead, though. We'll start the quest with farming things. So we'll get... You've already got the Ashen Viper Eye, etc. So... What do you mean I'm not allowed to root the... What? Team loot lead or something is it set to? Great. Spar 2112, welcome to the stream. You were switched teams as you killed it. I thought so, yeah. I forgot to leave raid when I left. I'll go back on. Is that a brimstone or a... No, demon of shadow. Ah, my map! No! Brimstone. Yeah, that does happen in raids and stuff. See, I could have done all this on Friday because I just didn't notice the you have completed your mission sort of thing. Scalding Weaver again. There we go, and that goes on to, what do we do? Deliver the biochemical medicine. Okay. Can't earn XP, not at 200, 220 rather. There is nowhere for it to go, basically. Taking on two sides as well for Sector 42. That should be interesting. wish there were a quicker way to get up this bloody ramp. But apparently, no. Pen Sanctuary key. Yeah, I guess so. Although you're not that close when you come through. Yeah, you've still got to run all the way from the portal to him, but at least it's not as bad as running up the ramp. Whichever way you go, there's a run involved, basically. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. I always wanted to go through the hole here and then realised there isn't actually a hole there. Yes, I has the medicine. Lies, my XP didn't move. What have you learned? It's not learned, it's learned. Although a lot of people do verbally say, what have you learnt? But it's actually a D. Goodbye. Take on the left, take on the right. I don't think I could solo them though. Not so sure I can manage that. No, learned is both. No, learned is someone who is wise, who has studied. Learned means, what was it you learned? So, yeah. When you're learning, you learn. And when you finished learning, people say, what did you learn? But if they ask figuratively, what have you learned? Yeah, it's weird the way it works. And a lot of people just say, what have you learnt? Which isn't right. It's what have you learned? Is learnt correct? Are you sure? It's not what have you learned? I think. Not learned, just D on the end. Let's have a look. The English language has changed in my lifetime. Learned or learnt? Okay, learnt and learned are both used as past participle and past tense of the verb to learn. Learned is the generally accepted spelling of the United States and Canada, while the rest of the English-speaking world seems to prefer learnt. Oh, right. Is it learnt or learned in the UK? Learned is an adjective. When you're using this word as an adjective, there is only one correct spelling in the UK and the US, and it is always learned, never learnt. So it depends on how you're using the word, yeah. Which is weird. No, it's UK English definition. It's dependent in the context of the sentence. You've been Americanized. I still say beta, not beta. And that just what? There are some things though. Some of the words, the way Americans pronounce certain words, is closer to how they were pronounced 200 years ago versus how they are pronounced now in English. English is not static. A lot of people say the Queen speaks perfect English. It's received pronunciation or whatever. But that's not always how the royal family spoke. Someone, I think he's called Stardust LP, but he's actually a real life university linguist. And just listening to someone, he can tell you where they're from and where they've lived. He's really good. To within a square couple of 100 miles. Very studied guy. American English predates received. Yeah, it does. Yeah, received pronunciation's quite recent, really. I think a lot of people assume it's like original, but it's not. It is a kind of manufactured accent. But the point of it is, I think that anyone that can speak English can understand it. Whereas you couldn't say that of every sort of dialect or accent. So, yeah. Yeah, when did they actually invent that? Received pronunciation. (1869), so it is pretty new. I mean, I've lived in houses older than that. The hotel that Mrs. Callis 2 works at is older than that, I think. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean, relatively speaking, it's pretty damn new. Yeah. The phrase received pronunciation was coined in 1869 by the linguist A.J. Ellis, but it only became widely used term to describe the accent the social elite after the phonetician Daniel Jones adopted it for the second edition of English Pronouncing Dictionary 1924. So its acceptance wasn't until even later than that. So not as old as my nan was. No dropped R's, less emphasis on TH. Yeah. But some of the American pronunciations don't make sense. Like, beta pronounced beta. Like, you've turned the E into an AY, you've turned the T into a D. It's like... you can't apply that to everything. And like, router and router. They're two different things. They're two different words, in fact, which is so stupidly confusing. Like, to route something is to either cut it away or to defeat an enemy. So when you have a wood router for gouging wood out of, a block of wood to make a guitar pickup cavity or something like that, you use a router. A router is something you use to pathway signals and such. So that's why we have a network router as part of your usual sort of network setup, and a router is a drill with handles on the side and a skid base with a round tip on it for cutting wood or other material away, and or defeating your enemy and making them run away. We are routed. Retreat. Yeah, I think because of Hollywood, because of the Hollywood film industry. Definitely, yeah. It's like aluminum and aluminium. And it was like the guy who discovered, they say invented, you don't invent an element, you discover it, okay? You didn't make it, you discovered it. The guy discovered aluminium, or aluminum, named it aluminum, But because of the naming convention for metals, he said, no, you can't call it that because it's a metal. Therefore, it has to be an ium. So they made it aluminium. Because scientifically it's correct. Which is silly as well, but there you are. Language is full of inconsistencies and silliness. I mean, my accent is completely bonkers. It's part Welsh, part sort of Romany, part, I suppose, Lancashire now, because, you know, I've been with someone with a Lancashire accent and her family for 20 plus years. I've lived in London, worked in Liverpool, Manchester, all different places, been to Germany, you know, so, and it just, you end up, I think by my age, you've sort of more or less developed a unique accent unto yourself, you know, so a lot, that's why people come onto the stream who've no idea where I am and go, you're from so-and-so, and it's like, nowhere near it. The schwa sound is a really rough for non-English speakers. Dropping consonants on top of that is like dropping the R's is even worse. Yeah, English is such a weird language, and it's made up of several languages to begin with. So yeah, I mean, American spelling makes more sense, but there you are. The reason it doesn't make sense is we no longer pronounce it the way we used to. That's the difference. And like the English language, oh, there's a brilliant video by two guys who call themselves map men, and they go, why are British or English especially place names so hard to pronounce? Place names especially. It's like some of them are from the Vikings, some of them are from the Saxons, some of them are from God knows, you know, and on and on and on, and different parts of the names are from different variants of these other languages, which English is also made of. So it's completely nuts. Volker, redeem, hydrate. I will. It's the it's called the IKEA effect, thinking your language is better because, you know, you're a part of what makes it. So if you make it yourself, it's better. So if you cook something yourself, build a piece of furniture, have a baby, you always think it's better than anybody else's because you made it. It's called the IKEA effect. Now look at this shelf I've put up. You know, even if it's terrible, you think it's better because you did it. North Germanic languages have an easier time with the schwa, but not anyone outside, not so much. Yeah, true. Also, the American language, it's to do an American accent, you have to relax your tongue a lot more than you do if you're in like a British, if you have a British dialect, your tongue is a lot more active when speaking. Call it flat tongue in theatre. To do an American accent, you just relax your tongue a lot more, and you immediately, as soon as you like relax your tongue a lot, you start sounding American. It's lieutenant here. Well, in the UK it's lieutenant. In America, is it lieutenant, though they say? They're just ignoring part of the word, aren't they? I can't think of any other instance where a U is IEU is pronounced EF. Unless there is some... RP is lieutenant. Is it? Let's Google eyes. Let's Google eyes. Is it spelled the same in America as well? Let's have a look. Detect language. English.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant.
And in English?
Lieutenant.
No, left there, my friend, and that's the American version. So let's change that to... Does it in Irish? Doesn't know. Does it differentiate English and American? It should do, shouldn't it? Should be able to do that. Or, yeah, because Google's American, and that's why it's done in American, I think. Yep, that's the only options you get. Yeah. So lieutenant must be an accent thing. RP is... let's have a go. We'll go... In RP English, what is the British spelling of lieutenant? Why exactly do the British say lieutenant? I don't, I say lieutenant. Oh, well, there we go. So, Lou and Lef pronunciations are both correct. Australian English, yeah. How do they say it there?
So in the Australian Navy and the...
No, you can't even speak English, mate. I don't know who... Some of these videos on like YouTube, they go, this is how to pronounce his word. And like, you can barely speak, mate. What are you trying to, you know... Savic's link works. So the etymology, Middle French, lieutenant. Yeah, it's obvious, like some French in there somewhere. Lowest joined commissioned officer yet. Yeah, it's somewhere in the UK's weird weirdness. I know, but then you got to worry about copyright. You won't get a copyright mark for using Google Translate and stuff like that. But as soon as you go to grayer areas, then you don't know. Because then, unless I credit who produced that, then you know, it's the copyright system is nuts. It just is. Trust me. He was changed to lieutenant instead of Lou because it sounded too French. Yeah, we've been at war with the French on and off. I don't know how many times. Wiki Commons, yeah, but some of the source material has to be credited as well. It's like I can use Panama Hat, but I have to put the credit in the video. Otherwise, it's not. So I'd have to go and source where the hell they got it from and all that. Yesterday. Yeah, the wikis are usually pretty good, but they're not always correct. Best place to find out is yesterday French war. Not a war with the French. Well, 1066. I think the French won that one. And put a French king. I mean, at the time there were 3 kings vying for the throne. One was Danish, I think. One was like a Viking or Swedish or something, and a German, and then the French, and they all duked it out for Britain, and it ended up with the French winning it. Lou the Little Willie. Yeah, it's like the Napoleon myth that he was short. He wasn't short. He was quite tall for that time period. He wasn't short at all, but they just put around this thing that he was short. You know, God knows why. To demean him, to make him seem less sinister, God knows, but he actually wasn't short. I mean, he wasn't 6 foot tall, but nobody was 6 foot tall then, and if they were a giant, you know. Is that where the beef eaters came from? I don't know about that one. That one I don't know. Good food. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, the two Romany families from which half my family's descended from, they were Romany gypsies who came over with money and deeds to property and stuff at the turn of the 19th century, or 20th century actually, early 1900s. One was a Brackies and the other with the Burnies. So in England you've got the Burnie Inns. The Brackies had all the coffee shops and stuff in mid Wales and North Wales at one time, and formed an ice cream company, but it was iced cream when it first came over. Yeah, I'm a real bag of chips, I tell you, because French inches and feet were longer than the English one, so his height was recorded. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't short, you know. I think I've seen that on QI, maybe. Yeah, Romany Catholic. My grandmother was Romany Catholic as well. My father was Roman Catholic, but my mother wasn't. The Catholic priest and church said, yes, you can marry, she just has to convert to Catholicism, which she didn't want to do. So they went to her church and they said, well, yes, if you convert to Church of Wales or whatever. In the end, I think they went to something like a Presbyterian church who went, yeah, we'll take anyone. So I got like a half and half upbringing. It was really weird. So I don't know what the hell I am. Mongrel. No, Mihalik, you're dead right. I have seen that on QI, and I think it was, in fact, oh god, what's his brainiac on it called? Stephen Fry, who actually read it off the card. But yeah, the feet and inches were different. So when they said, oh, he's 5'4", he was actually, in British feet and inches, was like 5'11" or whatever. He was quite tall for that era. I mean, someone my size back then would have been a giant. I mean, banging my head on doorways all day. Yeah, but once they said, oh, he's only a short arse, it's kind of perpetuated. Like every film and book and stories about him, all of it revolves around, you know, Napoleon complex and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's all based on diddly. Just a difference in a measuring system gave rise to this whole mythos that he's only, yeah, Hitler only having one ball. Yeah, that was wartime propaganda for sure, but yeah. Whether or not he had one, I don't know. I think he probably had both. I don't know. Sleeky Sophie has followed. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I suspect that is just propaganda. Did give us some good songs though. There is a song. If you Google it, you'll find it. I'm not going to try and sing it on stream. That's asking for trouble. Na 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 na. Yeah, it goes on and on like that. You can kind of redeem singing mode. The Colonel Bogey March. Yeah, exactly. Someone has only got one ball, the other is in the Albert Hall. Yeah, it goes on and on like that. Trouble with sing mode is if I sing a tune that the algorithm recognizes, then you get DMCA'd even for singing badly out of tune. So I just try and sing vaguely in a key and make up my own melody. Ah, yes. The interesting conversations we have without getting all wound up. You say that, Savick. It's from 1940. Yeah, and you know what a lot of companies do now? They find these songs that are no longer copyright owned. You know what they do? They buy the rights to them, copyright them, and then go around striking every YouTube video, TikTok video, whatever that they're used on, and earn money back on it as a business. That's them. Yeah, shouldn't be legal, but it is. It's the copyright system. It was never set up by copyright holders like musicians and artists and whatever. It was set up by the people that controlled those people, so the record companies and all the rest of it. They set it up. Now, in the strictest sense of the law, me playing a tune on a guitar is not going to affect the sales of the original piece of music I'm playing. But I don't have permission to do it, therefore I'm punishable under the full extent of the law where I'm trying to. You see what I mean? It's wrong, but that's how it works. Yeah, 5'4", but that's 5'4" in English measurement, not necessarily the French. I don't know. I'm 6'1" and a bit. I'm probably only 6 by now, as I've got older. But yeah, I'd have been straight to cavalry or something. He was known as a master of artillery. I'm sure everyone was happy about that in hindsight. Yeah, possibly. You know, but the thing is, you look at jockeys; they're all tiny. You know, the horse has got to run with someone. They wouldn't put me on it. Yeah, it's the what's the old saying? History is written by the victor. You know, you do wonder sometimes what you got to do a lot more digging to find out exactly what happens here, there, or everywhere, haven't you? Yeah, I'm never completely sure that the history we learn is correct. I always wonder about it. Human nature hasn't really changed quite as much as maybe we think it has. Attitudes that prevail, maybe, but human nature, generally not so much. I mean, it takes a longer period of time. We just accelerated so quickly. You know, as a species, sort of thing. What we short on, Malik? Is it enforcers? I don't think mine's anywhere near as good as yours. Mine's a, in case of emergency, break glass enforcer, really. You can handle Pande, but I'm not sure about generals in Sector 42 and that amount of ads. Some people who live in the Stone Age, I mean, what is a newspaper anyway? What they are now is a conglomerate-owned mouthpiece run by people with far more money than they should have, who use their product as a mean to sway public opinion to their own ends, to make even more money. That's what newspapers and media outlets have become. Most papers are called the BBC now. Not really. The BBC's gone wrong. I mean, the news was boring. No one watched the BBC for the news, because the news is always boring when it's simply reported. And to make it more appealing, they went the same route as the tabloid press, which is in the gutter, and it's just all gone horribly wrong. It really has. It's the death of the BBC, the way they report news now. Clickbaity titles and, you know, all the trimmings that go with that sort of trash media. Instead of just simply reporting A, B or C, you know, they go for all the bells and whistles, which are utterly unnecessary and grossly misleading in a lot of cases. And then you've got extremely political news editors and stuff as well, you know, who have their own take on things and will just force it onto the story rather than just simply report the facts of that day or that particular occurrence. Which is a shame, because they make great, you know, Life on Earth and The Blue Planet and some pretty good comedies and dramas. You know, that's the entertainment of the BBC, but, you know, they've wrecked it now as far as news reporting goes. More like Omnitech these days. Well, they were more like the ICC, you know, they were neutral when they reported something good, bad, indifferent. They would just report what they knew. But they're much more like opinion pieces, especially that Laura Kussenberg woman. Oh, good God. And Murdoch's got way too much influence. I mean, he goes into Europe and they just ignore him. He comes into Downing Street and they all book meetings with him. Why has this guy got so much control of what happens in our country, you know? Yeah, it's best to watch as many different outlets as you can to try and glean the actual truth of events out of it, because you will get something completely different from all three of those. The best thing you can do is try and look at as much of it as you can and make your own mind up. I mean, you look at the way papers like the Daily Mail report on Harry and Meghan versus how they report on the other two, William and the really, really pretty one. I do like it, but I can't think of her name. Kate, there you go. And someone did the AB, so some story about Kate having avocados for breakfast versus the same story about Meghan having avocados for breakfast whilst being heavily pregnant. And they put the two stories side by side from the same reporter in the same paper, and the two stories have a complete and utterly different take. Meghan doing a natural thing, which is putting your hand on your stomach once you've got quite a big bump, you know, versus Kate doing the same thing, and the way they report on that is grossly different. One is very negative and condescending. The other one's all very, oh, look at the lovely Kate. You know, and they're the exact same thing that either of them is doing, but they spin it completely differently. Like in wearing high fashion, if Kate does it, she's a trendsetter. If Meghan does it, we don't need to have fashion dictated to us by you. You know, it's gross. And I hate seeing that double standard. I find it annoying. I really do. It rubs me the wrong way. This time you got the Engie ring from the leg chopper clone. His big leg chopper nowhere to be seen. I think I might have see if I can find that. link somewhere. Yeah, I think it's a BuzzFeed link, but look for yourselves. You tell me. Some of these reports are like a week apart. So don't believe this stuff that you're seeing, because it's a load of garbage. And none of those headlines are edited or manipulated. That's what they reported. You tell me. It's wrong. Now, in truth, I don't really care what any of those people get up to. It doesn't change anything in my life or affect me in any way. But just the fact that people can get away with doing that, that's what annoys me. And it's like George Carlin said, take the average person, an average person. You got to remember, half of the people you meet are dumber than that. That's what's so bloody worrying about it. You know? And it's very hard to pick apart and undo that kind of level of day in, day out. You know? It's real hard to pick that apart from someone once it's embedded. What do we got here? ICC planet-wide announcement. Florine has been awarded the highest honorary rank for outstanding dedication to the defence of Rubicar. Congrats on AI-30. Now you can go do Apotheosis 10. I don't think I've got anything like enough points to be even thinking about bidding on a on invasion plans. Let's have a look. Nope, nowhere near. Maybe it's a level 200. Can you get AI-30 at level 200? You can, can't you? Yeah, no, well, that's right. I've seen some like Sector 7 twinks and that. Pretty sure they're like level AI-30. You've done it twice. Nice one. There's another one. Ryvale has been awarded the highest honorary rank for outstanding dedication to the defence of Rubicar. Did it twice, it was gruesome. Be a bit easier now with Space Quest. Following him around on Saturdays and managing not to die. Enzleric is back on the raid. Mrs. Doubtfire executes someone called their doc Mrs. Doubtfire. Classic Yalm is 6 million. Not if you got veteran points. Then it's like 5 veteran points, 7 veteran points, something like that anyway. Is usually the way I do it. And even then I don't really bother, because I can, when I log in I can claim let's have a look. Quite a lot actually. Just because I've played for so damn long. Never use vet points on Yalms. Depends how many you've got. Yeah, I got so much stuff for free. Like, I get that for 0. And then in the claim window, I think there's a couple there as well. Yeah, 6.5 mil if you get the lowest quality one, yeah. Last week they did a GSP party. Space Quest gave away a bunch of XP, AXP. I went from AI 27 to 29. Some who were there for the full thing went from 26 to 30. Wow. I didn't know he was at that. I shall have to keep dibs. Or try to. Elephant. Okay. I am on LFT. So, not sure where we're going to, but we will find out, no doubt. Yeah, I can remember the days when if a cheap Yalm turned up at a shop, someone would try and hold the trade window open and tell everyone it was there, and then people would be running into the shop trying to get it for that price. Another time they did a patch and Yalms were dropping in chests like they were going out of fashion, and people were running around trying to get duped keys, run in to loot the Yalm, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think that's how I got my first Yalm. It was in a chest. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't afford one at the time. I didn't have anything like that kind of money back then. Don't think anyone did. Very few people. Join. You're already in the raid. Yeah, I missed the last Sunday Hodor, which was a shame. But I didn't have a choice, really. Because I didn't know what time I was picking up Mrs. Carlos too. Yeah, the daft thing with me was I was on an Advi, so I already had Sparrow Flight and all the rest of it. So I was like, huh. How'd this work then, you know? So we're in car, eh? Oh, come on. Give me a hard time. You know, first time you get actual flight in Anarchy, it was. First time I did it, I was like, oh my god! And I explored so much of Ruby Car. It was just nuts. It really was. I went to zones I'd never even try and go to because they were too high level any other way, you know? Right, so put the thing in there. We are doing east. Turn right at the crossroads. Okie doke. I always feel slightly more kind of stressy when there's less of you going into Sector 42. I like that. I will take any fat buffs. Yep. While we wait, please take the decrypted Cries Och. Never really figured that one out. Decrypted data core out of the dark place you keep it and put it in your inventory. Why are you running so late? We are 2 minutes before the raid is due to start. Not sure what that guy's talking about. Time for your booble bath. Okay, Sav. Enjoy your booble bath. Give my regards to Mr. Booble. Make sure he's got you the nice dark chocolate. And somebody's giant pet right on top of the commander. Yay! Oh, someone's dinged. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Bobby Engie has reached enlightenment. Congrats, dude. Chomping at the bit now. Right, there you go. Speak to the manager. I would like authorization. Here you are. You give him your booble. And you make sure you complete the conversation. I accept the mission. Please give me access to Sector 42. Good luck, citizen. Goodbye. Right. And then fight to click on the thing. I shall put the core back in the dark place I'm hiding it. Volker, back. Welcome back. Okay, car has gotten a little bigger. There we go, we've got the updated car. And let's do some procs as well. Marthrees 83, as long as this game has been running, I'm supposed there hasn't been a major UI overhaul. Well, I'm using a custom GUI, but I am running on the old engine. There was one major overhaul, oh God, years and years ago, but I actually preferred the original UI. I thought it was better, especially the skills. Sav's gone for a Buble bath. She has gone for her Buble bath, yes. Famous Canadian jazz singer Michael Bublé has turned up to run the bath and sing cool jazz from, you know, the corridor. Well, Savik has some red wine and dark chocolate in the Buble bath. Haven't played since shortly after Shadowlands. Very different game since then. Proc reminder, they are running, but thank you. Or the expansion just after Shadowlands was Alien Invasion. Cities, aliens, etc. Mained an Advi back then. I'd just gotten to Shadowlands. That's the right expansion. Yeah, it's one of them. Noten Wars was the first, then Shadowlands, then Alien Invasion, then... was Zan next? Or was it Lost Eden next? Can't remember. And then they've opened up about 4 or 5 new dungeons and stuff. With a ton of different loot. Yeah, when was AI? 2004? Something like that. A good while ago. So, yeah. I'm not entirely sure, but yes. Quite a little while ago. Feels like a long time ago. It's been a long minute, yeah. When it's long enough ago that you have to sort of work hard to kind of remember it, yeah. But yeah, the GUI you're looking at now is a custom GUI, player made. As is the map, in fact. And also, it's the old engine, but I'm running it via DG Voodoo, so I'm actually running in DirectX 11, I think. So I can add shaders and stuff to it. The new engine that eventually came out ain't that new. It's a DirectX 9 engine. But it did add a lot of stuff like shadows, better lighting, etc. Cleaner than you remember. Well, this is a custom UI. So this is Noten DovTech Edge. The default UI had silly wings and crap in the corner, but then they brought in the control center, where you could go in and completely change everything, you know, to a point. So you could turn off the silly wings and wasted screen space. The GUI they brought in wasn't as good as the original one. And the thing that I really dislike that they changed is this bar here, the mini roll-up bar, used to have an extra button on it, and when you clicked it, the game world space was only on the right-hand side of it. So the left-hand side of it, rather. So under here would just be black. Even if you did that, it would be black, or you could click and it would lie over it, but you can't do that anymore. So it's always this resolution with this doing that. But when you open like your skills window, this is horrible. It's really hard to read, whereas the original one, they were all sort of stared in a semicircle, looked very kind of... The styling of kind of Men in Black headquarters is the closest I can kind of approximate it to, but it looked really cool. The skill system was a lot easier to follow with that as well, because it was much easier to make out whether the skill was dark blue or light blue or what do they call it? Cyan? Or green, you know, the cheapest skill, etc. And exactly how many points you'd put into it. But the new variant is just really boxy and I don't know. Doesn't look as cool to my mind. Right, this raid window here is kind of customized as well. Although that is built into the game, but moving everybody's HP bars and everything over to here is a manual thing that you actually do. Yeah, the original UI. I think I've still got screenshots of it on old DVD drives and stuff somewhere. But in all the years it's been running, I've gone off, I've tried other games, and I always come back to this one. I always go off, try them and go, yeah, it's alright, but it's weird. When you've played something like this with the amount of customization and the ability to twink, and then you go play other games which are basically set up so that you get your loot, get up to max level as fast as possible, and then start raiding. They feel very boring. Very sort of closed in, etc. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Dekton has reached enlightenment. Congrats. Someone has the Ming throne, as I call it. It's not actually called that. It's called... where is it? Yeah, there we go. Lounge Master Nirdisezi, whatever. It's one of them anyway. But yeah, I call it the Ming throne. Don't think I've got one either. Is the stream light enough for everyone? Stream is light enough. Okay, look. Trying to avoid all the mines. Stream is good for you. Okay. It looks a little dark. on my screen, but as long as you guys can see it, that's fine. I know I can see what I'm doing, so. We have a lot of monsters, a lot of aliens here. As we zerg our way through them. Glyn Ears do AO got some damage meter. There's player made damage dump and whatnot, yeah. So yeah, they exist for the game, yeah. Don't often bother with one though. Especially not on yeah, more for EP. I mean, if you're checking out how your tunes are doing and that kind of thing, then yeah, they make sense. But if you're doing any kind of like raiding and you're constantly spamming it, people are just going to get a bit annoyed with you. It's like unnecessary. We don't need to know how great your tune is by 6 points of damage per minute over the next tune, you know, and it's like, okay, well done, here's a toffee, you know, and all that, but recycled Pande, he's a hell of a tank, you know. He really is. I'm looking at how many mobs are pounding on him. And how well the doc and you know, and him are doing. He's just holding all that aggro. And yeah, there is a lot of it. I'm just used to having one in WoW. Yeah, I didn't like that. It's not for everyone. I didn't like the art style of the whole game. That was the first thing that put me off. And I didn't like the game mechanics either. And the global chat was just it was just a migraine. That's what it was like. So yeah, I never took to WoW. But they put one in WoW, did they? Yeah, figures. Had one in Sota as well. I quite like Sota, but then I don't know. I was bored of it after like 18 months. They're doing endgame raids, but somehow I was bored. I don't know. Happens, I guess. You'd be doing really well on your server, and then they go, we're closing your server, and you can move to any one of these servers, and you move to that server, and then there'd be a guild that was raiding in your time, and then you had to be at every raid. You couldn't like, oh, I can't raid tonight, you know, I've got the kids or something. And they were like, oh, you're not a proper raider. No, I've got a life and a job and bills to pay. So yeah, it started getting old pretty quick. Yeah, all I really remember about the about WoW is the Baron's chat just being absolute god, the worst parts of the internet. Anarchy has felt like the only non-Star Wars, Star Trek, space side MMO that's been successful. Yeah, when it launched, it was the only science fiction MMO, and it's outlived a few of them. Like Galaxies went. That was not because the game was bad. That was just the licensing, wasn't it? It was a hell of a shame. I mean, the Sony did balls the game up as well. I mean, no two ways about that. But you know, it went from a really sort of interesting game to play from a roll point standpoint into, oh, WoW's popular, let's copy that. And it just really felt shoehorned in and people didn't like it. It's a shame, really, because they had a good game there to begin with. And then Sota basically turned into a WoW clone. And I could feel it after a little while and just went, yeah, I'm going. Ta-ra. And then ESO came out and most of the guild, or the people in the guild that I was in at the time, kind of left to go and play Elder Scrolls Online. Totally different kind of game. And it didn't appeal to me. I like single-player Bethesda games. And I know that the ESO is not actually made by Bethesda Studios and all of that, but, you know, their style of game. I like their games so long as I can mod them. They're not great to play unmodded, let's be honest. Picking up these targets. Oh, there we go. Yeah, in 2001, there'd only been 2 other MMOs anyway. There was... I can never remember the name, and I never played it. I know EverQuest was one of the big ones. But there was one that preceded that, and then Anarchy came out after that one. It was one of the first 3 ever, which is remarkable, really. WoW had huge commercial success, but... And of course every game company said, oh, we want one of them and all. You know. I've been trying for 10 years to find a better game than AO with no luck. Yeah, I kind of feel like that as well. I have looked around, tried them, and just gone, you know, nah. It just ain't as good. I mean, this fight is a bit peculiar for melee because you basically just stand here until stuff spawns, and then yeah, time to get on with it. Ultima Online, that's the one. Yeah, I think they were the first MMO, followed by EverQuest, then Anarchy Online, and then everybody else. And every time, like, Star Wars Galaxies launched, this game's going to kill off AO. And then Lineage 2 launched. This game's going to kill off AO. Dark Age of Camelot. This game's going to kill off AO. It was like a long, long list of games that were going to kill AO. And none of them ever did. Really weird. Yeah, MUDs and stuff, yeah, but, you know, I mean, like a 3D environment MMO. doing stuff over Telnet and whatnot. Yeah, I mean that predates everything, but you know, then you know the only thing before that is D&D pen and paper games, which are still great games. You know, it's just it's not quite the same thing when you're comparing them. You know, yeah, graphical MMO, so like a Half-Life in that there's 3D models and stuff to run around in. So it was taking the FPS genre, like, yeah, ANSI doesn't count, yeah. It's not, it's sort of, yeah, in spirit maybe, but it's not in practice the same thing. With custom UI and map AO is modded too. Yeah. I mean, you've seen all the videos I've made on tweaking the engine to get it to run better and stuff, old and new. The thing is, it's old tech, you know, it's all built on very old tech, so of course, you know, there are issues running it on an operating system and hardware that is 20 years newer. Some point in the distant future, you'll need an emulator to run it, you know. You know, all my maps are custom. I mean, I can use it. I mean, technically Savic's map is part of the game now, but the one I use is a modded version of it. Okay, where the hell is mouse? Oh, there we go. Does it have a native? No, I think it's a 32-bit executable. I don't think there's any other variant. Although a lot of people have got it to run on, is it Ubuntu? Not sure. One of them. One of the Linux ones. And on Mac as well. People still run it. I mean, the vanilla base game does not need a lot of processing power, etc. compared to modern games. Nowhere near. Anything like. I mean, there's a whole forum posts and groups on how to get it all running under Linux. So if you want to get it running, yeah. You might struggle with some of it, but there's plenty of modules around to help it work. Alright, while they do that, I is getting a drink very quickly. Oh, the hazards. Yeah, it can certainly be done. A lot of people do play. Someone in my guild plays on Linux, but I can't remember what exactly. I remember them having a big discussion about getting it working. Thing is, I run Windows 10 debloater, which cuts Windows right back. So normally when you boot up Windows, once everything's sort of settled and started up, your whole system's already running at like 30 to 40% utilization. Whereas if you run Windows 10 debloater in admin mode properly, you can get it to 1 to 2%. It makes a massive difference. I don't think it's as little as running Linux with custom modules and stuff. But then I'd have to get all my video editing software to work, all my music editing software to work, etc. It's like it's just too much. So I just plod along with Windows. But yeah, people definitely do run the game on that. I mean, the core vanilla game is DX8. And so it's been around that long that there's plenty of modules to help it run. I think somebody actually got it to run on Android. Not quite sure how, but they did. Yeah, they got it running on Android, and it showed a screenshot of the game literally running on their phone with a Bluetooth keyboard. But they said it ran like crap, but it did run. It's just nuts. Is there no way to combine AO with the new Unreal? No. Thinking of graphical engines and world engines as a mod for Skyrim, like texture and lighting mods for Skyrim, is the wrong way of thinking about them. Yeah, I know. But you would have to rebuild the entire game in that game engine, in the Unreal, because the Unreal Engine also has all the animations, the joints on models, and hitboxes, just everything. It's its own thing. It's completely its own universe, etc. So you would literally have to rebuild the entire game in it. Like every item, the way the stats interact, and the way this interacts, and that, thinking of it like a mod for Fallout or Skyrim is not the way to think of it, because it's completely different. I mean, the game engine they used for was it Morrowind? Has more or less been, all of that's been completely rebuilt in the Skyrim SE engine, but they literally had to rebuild the whole game, all the environments, the landscapes, everything in that landscape, the buildings, the way you were zoned from, because in that game, when you open the door, you're actually zoning into another playfield, and you'd have to do all of that. And the way Unreal 5 works is you don't have to do that. You could build the entire world, and it only creates the parts of the world you're in. And for that to work in an MMO is quite difficult when everybody's in different areas. Well, yeah, the different engine, it is different. It's based on the same three core things. Best video to explain it you want to watch is by a guy, I think it's Zach something, where he says, they're talking about Fallout 76 as it happens, and he goes, the engine is not to blame. It's crap coding is why it's not working properly when Fallout 76 launched. But he goes through what the different engines are. So it is a different engine. You can't copy paste what they did in that variant of the engine into what they've got now. So, in that sense, yeah. Like, for instance, you can't use the mods from vanilla Skyrim directly with second edition, or special edition it's called, isn't it? They're different because one's a 64-bit program, one's a 32-bit program. They are quite different. The way you interact with them is very similar, but they are not the same thing. Like, it's like Windows XP and Windows 95 are very different. They look the same, they do the same sort of things, but the kernels underneath it and the engine and the mechanics of what's actually happening to make it look like that are very different. So I think, what have they renamed it to? Is it Skywind? Something like that. They've been rebuilding it in the SE engine, and it does look really good. And also it immediately performs better. But the GUI and everything are all totally different. They're much more the Skyrim one and all the rest of it, so... My next life I will be a zillionaire and will make it so. Aye. Just buy the IP off them and give it to to a bigger game company. But then, like, game companies now are not what game companies were 20 years ago. Like, game companies back in the day were a bunch of nerds and a few businessmen trying to make a living. And they go, right, here's the game. We're going to release like a very small piece of the game as a demo on CDs that come with magazines and drum up some interest. Then we release the game to the stores. Because back then you weren't downloading things that big. Now, they're like casino cartel run companies that run these games. Like EA and those guys and the whole, the slot machines that mechanics, like the loot boxes and stuff. They run games. The gaming companies are more like the gaming industry in Las Vegas or something. And completely different. Right, are we getting the big guy? Did everybody sync nicely in all three of the zones? Is he too far away to see? Might be doing the towers again. Don't know. Oh, there he is. Like the tank, snag him. And kapow. This thing has got a massive hitbox. Makes you feel like you've got extraordinary range of melee attacks. A little bit closer for some of the perks. Make sure they land. Okay, starting to see some of the nasties spawning. Good old Seekers, you know how much we love them. Especially at the Alien events, good God. That was hilarious last night. The amount of those that went charging up the middle of Nascents where everyone was like semi-AFK and then... That was pretty cool. You gotta watch out for the Seekers. 2 of them on you, you're dead. Yeah, somebody got too close there or they've run out of range. Yeah, the Seekers are what make this hard. Without snares, etc. Ah, nostalgia. Froob incoming. Well, we got him down. Now we just got to kill enough of the Seekers to get to the loot. You're making a new Froob. Don't blame you. There's a new startup area as well, just to confuse you completely. But do all the quests you can find there. Because you get a full set of armour, box of nanos, bunch of goodies. If you just Google Kalos 2, you'll find a bunch of tutorials for the startup area. Where everything is and all the rest of it. Everyone got 90 points. How many... Where am I? If I'm remembering correctly, they didn't, even where they gave free players the black shirt that said Froob or Freeb on it. Froob. You can get a Froob t-shirt for nothing. As soon as you finish the starter area, go to the subway. The humanoid mobs will drop that t-shirt. And you don't lose any armour using it because we've got the social tab to wear armour in. So you can decide what your toon looks like from that. Switch it on and off, and then wear whatever jank looking armour that actually has good stats. You've seen the memes where the guy's there and he's like got a, I don't know, Walmart shopping bag as a shirt, but the stats are good. Oh, and you no longer have to look like that anymore. When you're a noob, none of your gear matches, but the stats are pretty good. It's just a picture of a guy with like the worst looking cosplay of anything you've ever seen. I don't think I've got anything like enough points to even come close to winning a bid in here. I'll wait till it's on ours. Never going to get it for that many. 3,000, no chance. It's funny, but walking around with janky looking armour, you know, red shirt, blue pants, green sleeve on one side, helmet. It doesn't really fit. Feels more like the old school thing. You'd have probably enjoyed the 2019 server when it launched, because everyone started with diddly. Except those that had paid off the gear. Wow, that's even more than I bid, I think. I got my last one for. Yeah, I saw it. Northcott. East only. Bid 3046. I don't think I'm going to get it for that. Bio. Misspelled it anyway. Where is it? It's already at 4,000 anyway. 7,000, yeah. I really did not think you get. I mean, it can happen. It can happen that nobody wants it on your boss, but does someone need a bathroom? What? Oh, bio. Yeah. Don't know why I did that. It's something I type a lot in game. You know, you're doing something, bio, and usually you just go off and because you're making a cup of tea or something like that, you know, sandwich. And that's the end of the raids. I'm going to beacon myself out. There we go. Back to the mainland. I don't need anything else from that raid except that one item. So once the bid's done for that, it's like, okay, I'm done. I didn't need anything from the beast or anything either. You were removed by the raid from the raid by yourself. Right, okay. Where to next? I think we're about done. Yeah, 8:45 my time. So yeah, time to eat some dinner and chill out, really. Monday I may be starting the next Let's Build, but we'll see. We will see. Right, let's have a look. Who can we go raid? Who is doing Anarchy Online? Let's have a look. If we can find anybody. Me. There's Hector doing PvP. And we got a Che. We got a Cheification. It's probably not on. No. There's a Guffer. He is, but he's playing Divinity Sin, so have a look. Bugs Funny is live. I rate him again, actually. I think he's AFK at the moment. Do we go raid him? What do you think, chat? All right, we'll go raid him. Be a nice surprise for him when he gets back. At least I hope he's there. He's in a Yalm with a bunch of other people, so there's every chance. There you go. We go raid him. Mature audiences. Yeah, he does F and Jeff a little bit. Right, there we go. Thank you all. I will be on again tomorrow, most likely doing a questing with Savick. So I'll see you all then. Thank you for the follows and the resubs. Much appreciated. And I'll just say bye for now.